बुरे पे भले की हृदय करो बलवान.
All the relatives and the neighbors and the friends and the relationships are falling apart, including the love story. My pet name for Shreya is Chhoti Ustad. I don't call her Shreya. Even in my phone book, it's Chhoti Ustad calling.
Dil mera, dil mera, dil mera.
Actually, Sonam described it very well after she saw the edit of this song. She said, Mehra, why did you make the entire film? Your entire film is in this one song.
Tracking milestones of an incredible journey spanning 30 years. Rahman Music Sheets.
Hi friends, how about finding a top take, a wow factor in this episode? Do watch it till the end to grab this harmonic moment of the day. After Rang De Basanti, Rahman and Rakeysh Omprakash Mehra joined forces for Delhi 6, released in 2009. The music of Delhi 6 was released on the sets of Indian Idol. And why not? The film's female lead aspires to be a singer. In the film, she auditions for Indian Idol.
शक्ल के साथ अकल भी है, इसलिए मैं पिट्टू शर्मा, सिर्फ मैं बनूंगी आपकी नई इंडियन आइडल.
For this sequence, Rahman brought together Shreya Ghoshal and Ustad Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Saab, who had passed away 40 years ago in 1968.
It's the pre-climax of the film, and all the differences which people have, all the relatives and the neighbors and the friends and the relationships are falling apart, including the love story. It's a very sad moment for me. You know, when relationships which you've nurtured for life and you believed in start falling apart. Why? Because the society says so. Not because you're feeling so. For me, AR Rahman is the Ustad. If AR was only into classical and Hindustani or Carnatic classical, it would be Ustad AR Rahman, like Bade Ghulam Ali Khan, like Ustad Allah Rakha, Ustad Ravi Shankar. So it felt correct to bring both the Ustads together. At the same time, the female protagonist, Bittu in the film, played by Sonam, her life is also going through a turmoil and she's running away from her home, leaving her family and her loved ones. And the whole neighborhood is breaking into this hatred for each other because of the Mandir Masjid issue. It's just not me, but I think zillions and zillions of people and generations across have not only nurtured, loved, but have also been healed by Bade Ghulam Ali Khan. Exactly the way AR Rahman heals you. So it had to be a healing process. He wanted Shreya. Shreya was very happy to step into those shoes. I remember her rehearsing. I remember her calling her Ustad in Calcutta to say who had learned from Bade Ghulam Ali Khan to say, hey, you know, ARS and Rakeysh Mehra, these two people have put me in a spot now and have to deliver it. So my pet name for Shreya is Chhoti Ustad. I don't call her Shreya. Even in my phone book, it's Chhoti Ustad calling. We always talk about a culture, a tradition, the depth of it, the richness of it. And why not? Rightly so. But I also feel that we owe it to the generation today to reconnect with the same greatness, which we have enjoyed and we have nurtured and we have loved. Bhor Bhaye was an attempt towards that. And it is one of the songs in Delhi 6 and among all the albums I've been part of and all the movies I've been part of, which always brings tears to my eyes. For AR, it was his humbleness and his greatness to take a original voice recording from All India Radio of Bade Ghulam Ali Khan with all the scratches in it, and to just just present it, like a gift to a generation today.
Dil Gira Dafatan, arguably the most unusual dream sequence in Indian cinema. An Indo-American fusion fantasy of an NRI coming to terms with life at Delhi 6 and the time he spent in the US. The song assimilates two worlds, New York's Times Square and Old Delhi.
The song Dil Gira Dafatan, its lyrics are very poetic. People who speak Hindi and Urdu will read it twice to understand its meaning. Yet a singer like Ash King was chosen who couldn't speak a word of Hindi.
Amazing. That is the genius of AR Rahman, that he could imagine Ashley singing Dil Gira Dafatan, which has tongue twister Urdu words, and Ashley doesn't even know Hindi. So it's only the genius of AR Rahman. And who could imagine that? Because the texture of blues is what he wanted, and that voice he wanted. Your voice is also an instrument. Your voice is not just a voice. It is part of the entire instrumentation. That is the beauty of AR's music. That everything hits a spot. Whether what the composition is, what the voice is, the way it's rendered, the way he arranges it, it becomes a whole. So the voice he wanted was Ash, and Ash didn't know Hindi. So the recording went on for days and days and days. It could be sometimes one line a day, at times 2 lines a day. I became a Hindi coach in the process, and just to get that right. And the thing is, we never ever insisted on that the grammar has to be precise. Not just with Ash, with anyone. With the best of the Hindi singers also. That is not the thing. The thing is, it's the emotion and the feeling gone through. Rest, everything is fine, no problem. Many scenes in the film, like which I have shot over time, the artist has said the dialogue wrongly. Sometimes there is a lisp. Sometimes there is it's the pronunciation is wrong. But I have not gone back to the dubbing theatre to overdub it and make it correct. Because that feeling which I got there while it was live and sync cannot be replicated. And I think there's something about the instinctive thing. So Ash, I must say, first and foremost, AR's belief in him, his conviction, his genius to imagine what we didn't know. I was wondering, how is this going to happen? What's going on? Okay, at best, I can teach him a Hindi line a day from the song. And then Ash's hard work he put in. He didn't give up. Once I had the song, my work began. It gave me sleepless nights. I kept dreaming, thinking about the song. And finally, I told Binod, the cinematographer, Bharti, the co-producer, editor, I said, guys, this can only be a dream. It is a dream song. It is so beautiful. Every time I listen to it, it takes me to somewhere else. And if you see, actually Sonam described it very well after she saw the edit of this song. She said, Mehra, why did you make the entire film? Your entire film is in this one song. The moment Abhishek opens the door in Old Delhi and he enters Times Square,
गिरा कहीं पर दफतन,
and all metaphors get juxtaposed, including King Kong as Kala Bandar, and there is a Ram Leela parade going on there, and there is a Maulvi there, and there are nuns on the street, and a cow is giving birth, and jalebis are being fried instead of frankfurters. And we recreated the Times Square inch to inch. That was the genius of special effects today.
उलझा हुआ है वही खो गया.
And yes, then I thought back and I said, yeah, the entire film is in this song.
After shooting and editing it, you immediately sent it to Mr. Rahman. Why did you want to do that? And what was his reaction?
I didn't know whether this was just madness. Is it okay? Have I done justice to this song? Because I got really obsessed by it. He was the first person to see it, yeah, so I bounced it off him.
What was his reaction?
Yeah, yeah, it was nice. It worked out for him also.
Don't be so modest. Let me remind you, he called you to say that you were a genius.
No, I think the genius was in the way he composed the song. That kind of inspired the genius in me. Because all of us have that quality about us. We can all, leap higher than we think we can. So he gave me the wings, so yeah, so I flew.
तू मगर है बेखबर.
After the release, Rakeysh Omprakash Mehra was summoned by the National Commission for Scheduled Castes for using the term lower caste for its character Jalebi.
Oh, wait. I got that. Hold on.
Ram. Satyanas.
Ironically, 1 year later, Delhi 6 won the National Award as the Best Feature Film on National Integration.
That's life. Now, I was on a radio interview once in Delhi and promoting Delhi 6, and and the listeners were calling in, and one of them called in and gave me a death threat that you step out of the radio station and you'll be dead. So you better stay in there. I don't want to analyze it. The idea of differences, and we live and we create for ourselves and for our children. And then after all that, then they say, hey, you got a national award for Delhi 6, and I said, okay, wow. And it was the second in the row. After in Rangde we got 4, in Delhi 6 we got 2. And then again for Bhag Milka Bhag, after that we got another 2. So I said, wow. And then when I read the letter carefully, it said the best film for national integration. And in my heart, I could only thank the jury for understanding the film. Yeah. That they put that in whatever little history of cinema we have, and in the record books, that at the heart of this film was to join, not to break.
When Delhi 6 got lukewarm response at the box office, Rakeysh drowned himself into alcohol. To come out of it, he did something drastic. Also the making of Sasural Genda Phool, an iconic song from Delhi 6. In our next episode, Rakeysh Omprakash Mehra gets up close and personal. Stay with us.
Your voice is also an instrument. Your voice is not just a voice. It is part of the entire instrumentation. That is the beauty of AR's music. That everything hits a spot. Whether what the composition is, what the voice is, the way it's rendered, the way he arranges it, it becomes a whole.
Do you agree that this indeed was the moment of the day? Is your choice different? Whatever your mind says, write it in the comments section below. We will be waiting. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, press the bell icon and stay entertained.